Skylanders Giants came out on October 21st, 2012 for the Wii, Wii U, PS3, Xbox 360, 3DS, with no PC release or Japanese release published by Square Enix. God f***ing damn it. I remember being very excited for this game. I love the original. I was just about finished with it when this game was about a month away from launch. So I picked it up on launch day for the Wii and I loved it just as much. But having a more critical eye for Spyro's Adventure and seeing all the flaws in there, I wasn't the most excited to come back for this one. And before you ask, I played this on the 360 this time because the Wii version absolutely killed my wrist with those motion controls. The game was shown off in E3 2012. Despite not containing Spyro in the game's title, he is still playable in the game. That's all the history I got. Activision just saw how successful the first game was, so they made another one. That's all the history there is. For me, I have to kind of explain my thoughts on Giants level by level. So let's start with level 1 and 2. They're really good tutorial levels. Level 3, we'll get back to later. Levels 4 and 5 are just boring. 6, I hate this tank level. You move extra slow, making it boring and super easy, especially at the end where they tell you what to press and when to press it. And you have to use this very slow stick on anything but the Wii, which is not fun. I get hit not because I'm bad, but because I couldn't move fast enough. This is the one credit I'll give to the Wii version where you can use the pointer controls. I love level 7 and the creepiness of the Wilkins. It takes the Ghost Roaster bonus level from Spyro's Adventure, that kind of gimmick, but does a bit more with it, and I love it. 8. 8 is really boring, but this level made me take note of something that made me hate the game. Giants introduced a difficulty selection. Yay, one of my big complaints of Spyro's Adventure is gone. Well, half of it. I said in that review that I died when I was swarmed with enemies that take up half your health. Not only does that still happen here, but it happens a lot more since the game is only 16 levels. That's half of the first game. There is a steep difficulty spike, and if you play on hard, like I did, you'll find out quickly that even basic enemies take up eighths of your health bar. But why this level in particular? There's an elemental gate where, when you get to it, you get ambushed by 3 Gilgunt clones. It was cheap then, it's cheap here, but for the most part, I did like these fights in Spyro's Adventure. But you face those one at a time at full health bar, and then all at once with a third of their health. This time, you face all 3 at once with full health bar each. Already kinda bullshit. But whatever attacks you do, they do the same amount of damage as you would do to them, right? Oh no, they don't. I used a fully leveled up Gilgrunt and did the same moves and did about 40 per attack about them. Oh, just a measly 150. An average non-giant can only go up to about 800, and that's before the intentional 2-hit enemies for normal mode. I've been one-shot by enemies right after I put in a new Skylander. This game is absurd with its difficulty. Now you could say I could turn down the difficulty a notch or get better at dodging. And to that, I saw turning down the difficulty made it boring. And look at this shit. How the hell am I gonna dodge an iron knuckle in this small ass room? Whew. Now that that's out of the way, keep that in mind for the rest of the levels. That was my problem with level 3. It just made more sense to go in when I realized it more. 9 is boring. 10 is a cool concept for the first half and boring for the second half. Still bad execution all around. The ship isn't big enough for battles, and the aircraft gameplay, where you can't move fast enough, is just still not fun. 11 is boring, but I like the boss. He gives me Great Mighty Pooh vibes from Conker's Bad Fur Day. 12 is boring. 13 is my favorite level, not only in this game, but it's probably up top 5 in Skylanders levels in general. The concept is that there's multiple trials that you must go through so you gain the Oracle's trust, and you get to go to the lost city of Atlantis. They're quick, challenging, but not BS. They offer variety. Good job, Giants, you did something right for once. 14 through 16 are good final levels, but way too similar to the first game. The main thing I remember is playing Skystones against one of the robot dudes. Oh yeah, Skystones. This is the main thing I remember about Giants, and it's alright. It's kinda luck-based, but it's fun, and I enjoyed it. Overall, geez, there's only a few levels here I like. And overall, even in the levels I like, the game felt way too bullshit to be fun. The difficulty is way too high on hard, and way too easy on normal. Oh, and I should probably mention, there's also an easy difficulty that I didn't even bother playing with, but I don't even want to see how easy that would be. But that's my main critique, and the whole reason I did not enjoy the game. There's also no bonus levels like the first game. Yeah, they were just okay, but they were still some of the better levels in the game, and they had merit to them. That, and the levels are super boring in general. So screw it, let's talk about the new Skylanders, I have time. With the game, you got Tree Rex, Jet Vac, and Cinder version 2. There was also a Portal Owners Pack that only came with Tree Rex if you already had Spyro's Adventure to use that portal with. Tree Rex, and all the Giants for the matter, are slow heavy hitters that I'm not a fan of. I like Swarm, but that's because he goes against the Giants' norm and is fast and chip damages. Jet Vac, also not a fan of. For me, his attacks never seem to do much damage at all, and his flying is on a timer for whatever reason. Jill is okay. I don't feel negatively or positively towards her. Overall good, but not mind-blowing. Flashwing, on the other hand, is great. A mix of Trigger Happy and Prism Break to make a best of both worlds situation. Fright Rider is also a mix, but not in a good way. It takes several moods from different people, but makes them worse. The main example is when the Bone Horse digs its head into the ground to attack, kinda like Stealth L's disappearing attack. However, Fright Rider can still get hurt during this, which makes it kinda pointless. Hot Dog is just a solid character. It's a perfect mix of speed and power. Pop Fizz is one of the most interesting characters in the game. Basically has 3 attacks that all do different effects, and all have strengths and weaknesses to each other, and you can briefly turn into a monster to just combo damage. Fuck Shroom Boom, the worst character in the game, and has no good attacks. He's one of my least favorite Skylanders of all time. Sprocket is boring as hell, and I don't really remember her at all. And that's Giants, a very poor follow-up to a pretty decent game. There's bits of fun, but the unbalanced gameplay ruins it for me. Well, come back next time while we'll take a look at another disappointing follow-up, or potentially really good follow-up.